YouTube. We're live.
How's it going, YouTube? Thanks for coming out. That time of the month again. Kind of snuck up on us real fast.
Yeah. This month has been crazy.
We can't see ourselves?
Yeah. I can in a minute. Here.
Okay. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, somebody was here from Patreon?
Someone was on Patreon, yeah. Just gonna post the link up there. So, we should talk a little bit. Maybe give an Audi update. Yeah, Audi update.
Yeah, so currently we are working on getting the transmission to bolt up to the engine, and I got some really cool video coming out on that. Some off the wall thinking, but it's actually not going to be as difficult as I thought. The clutch, we got a double disc McLeod clutch that fits inside the bell housing of the Audi, but the flywheel doesn't. But the bell housing of a 4L60 fits right around the bell housing of the Audi. So it probably took 2-3 days, and the machinist is working on it right now, but it is
This one's better.
okay. But it is going to work. I don't think I want to spill too much because it's going to be a pretty unique video. And if I didn't lose people with the irrigation pipe as our intake pipe, I might lose some people butchering up this Audi bell housing. So my machinist was very impressed, and he did not tell me to go piss off. He's actually going to carry on from here. So Tennessee, hello. That's what TN is, right? I think so.
Yeah. Kentucky's here.
Nice. How's it going, guys? Yeah. Zip ties and bias plies. How's it going, buddy? If you guys want a good laugh and some really good entertainment, go check out his channel. Really cool. A little bit vulgar and a slight bit racist, but that's alright. It's go check it out. I know you guys, you did a call out to me or a challenge on the one video, and I never saw one of your videos before. And I was Sunday morning or something, and I got my 3-year-old on my lap. I'm like, oh, let's see what this call out is. But 12 seconds in, oh, my daughter can't hear this. But I love the channel, man. Keep it up. So, yeah, we can do a video about a 6.5. We'll do that at some point. Right now, it was funny. Aaron said we needed to do more videos on reviewing diesels because they did pretty good. And again, I want to do reviews on engines that I've worked on and I'm familiar with, so I can share my experiences. He's like, we need a viral video because there we go.
Better.
Our income was down quite a bit, just because of the algorithms and stuff from YouTube. And then that tailgating video just took off, so it was pretty cool seeing the income on that, because it was flatlining for its entire life of a year, and then it went straight up. So I think it's probably got like 190,000 views now, and I think like 170 of those in the last 3-4 days.
Oh,
so,
the
tailgating video. So yeah, that was pretty funny. But but yeah, we got a lot of videos that are in the bank already, so we'll get to it at some point.
Yeah. So I'll just talk right now a little bit about Patreon, sort of what's happening and why we're doing it this way. So Patreon kind of allows people to sort of support us as we're doing these videos, and in exchange you get sort of priority during these live chats. If you have questions, then we'll give you guys first priority, that kind of thing.
And one-on-one conversations whenever you want. I'm getting a lot of questions still on what's your opinion on this, and how do I fix that? And I'm sorry, I just have to ignore you guys because there's not enough time in a day, and
this just helps us regulate our time.
Yeah,
and make sure that we're serving you guys. If you guys help us, we'll help you. That's kind of how that's working. So, one other thing that Patreon is allowing us to do is just make the channel better, and that means things like giveaways coming up. Milwaukee's actually going to be helping us do a little bit of giveaways.
Yeah,
so
we're excited about that because I don't know if we did the review on the impact gun, and that went very well. Actually, it was a good video, and we honestly do when we review something, it's because we are impressed with it. We would use it ourselves. There's been tools that have been given to us, and I've had to say I'm not going to review this one online because I don't think that they're of good enough quality. But Milwaukee, and it's not that we're selling out to Milwaukee, because we are doing reviews, because some of our very first videos were tool reviews, and that's just my opinion on those tools. If you see tools that we're reviewing, they won't be brand new. They'll be just as filthy as my hands because we've already been using them, and I won't put anything on the channel that I wouldn't use myself, and I wouldn't do it just because they're giving it to us. But the upside of that is Milwaukee's going to help us out with giveaways. So watch the review, and whatever we're reviewing, there's a chance that you might get it because we're able to give that away now. So we're close to our Patreon goal. And
yeah, we're really close.
Yeah, so then, yeah, that's where it is.
And it helps us buy Audi parts. Speed parts for the Audi.
Right now. Speed parts. So
if you want to help us go fast.
Yeah, so I was interested in that somebody was going to offer us a clutch. Go back up.
What?
Because unfortunately we bought a clutch, but we kind of messed up on that. Go up. It was a green
you
guy.
Their own clutch?
Have you ever? No. Go down. Where is he?
Here.
South Jersey Sound. Yes. Can you hit us up at DEBOSSgarage@gmail.com? If you're gonna offer us a clutch, I'm sure one of the first things that we're gonna wreck is the clutch itself. But what we did was we bought a clutch that fit the LS, and then my machinist is incredible, GVL Machining. I'll give a little shout out to him. He's probably in the shop still right now. What we did was we took the rivets out and the center hub out of the clutch for the GM. Sorry, and then he made a new hub for it with the splines that fit the Audi input shaft. So regardless, we might need 2 more clutch discs, but the center hub, we'd have to knock it out and be able to rivet a new hub in there because that hub is kind of a one of a kind. And the input shaft, because it's a double disc, the clutch came out farther, so the splines are actually, it's pretty cool. The splines are where are we? There we go. Are in like that, and the one spline actually goes inside the other spline because I had to move it over. So it's like, the guy's amazing. But anyway, if you are offering a clutch, I might give you the size of the clutch. I might just grab a couple extra discs. So, all right. So, mic volume, is that what Justin Roy is keep trying to?
Another announcement too, if you guys saw recent videos, we did just make a whole pile of new merch, so check out the website, DEBOSSgarage.com. You can find everything there under the store, or just go to DEBOSSgarage.com/merch. Everything is there. A bunch of new t-shirts, a couple hoodies and stuff, hats. I just ordered a few for myself. We're going to order Rich some tonight too.
And another good news update is this weekend we're heading to Pennsylvania again. So
yeah,
we were up in the air as to whether the dyno shop owner was going to be stuck in court for days or weeks or months. He's free. So at that point we were going to take the Audi to Matt, and we were going to get the all-wheel dyno. the all-wheel dyno and take the whole car there, but we are going to take just the 4.8, which I've built on a complete stand, and we're going to blow that up. So we'll put it on normal 93 octane and then blow it up with some race fuel. So thanks, Zip Ties. I need to know your real name so I can call you your real name, or at least your nickname, because Zip Ties and Bias Plies is too long to say every single time. So
did that make a consider a goal? I'm curious.
I do. Oh, and
182. Yep. We're at 182. We're aiming for 200. So
right. So
everybody.
I don't need a tablet anymore. There was a local guy who was about 15 minutes away. So I met up with him last Monday and we swapped it. Really, I got the response like 2 hours after we posted the video. So thanks guys for your tablets. We got a Samsung with a cover and everything, so we're good to go. So yeah. And so welcome to the channel, Frankie. Check out the junkyard build off. That one video is fantastic. The Roadkill Nights road trip is pretty good. Check out Everything Runs on Smoke, how to extend your razor blades, and the tailgating video are funny ones. And then the builds that I enjoyed the most are probably Tahoe, Silverado, Crew Cab, Dodge, and the RT Baker. So do some homework and catch up.
There's a playlist for you specifically.
Yeah.
It's called Start Here.
Oh, okay.
Or if you're new, I don't know. I forget what I called it.
Oh, South Jersey Sound.
There you go.
Where is Matt? He starts with an A. Abford. Where's Matt?
In Pennsylvania?
Yeah. You want to look it up? His address.
I'll find it.
My phone's almost dead because it's the end of the night and I haven't charged it in 3 days. Yeah. We'll find it. So the plan is Sunday morning we're going to leave pretty early. We're going to book it pretty well straight there, put the engine on the dyno, hopefully get it idling there. Matt will hopefully meet us at the dyno place, and then Monday spend all day dynoing and head home Monday night again, be home at about 2. So our schedule is pretty tight. I don't know if we can stop anywhere, but actually maybe we do have to stop for supper or something somewhere. Maybe we can even post where we're going if everybody wants to hang out and have a dinner or something. We're okay with that. Let's see. It's coming. I'm racing him. Is a 1996 Chevy 2500 with a diesel and with 2,200 or 220,000 miles a good deal? Well, yes, if you're paying $10 for it. No, if you're paying 20,000 for it. So that's incomplete. Give me more info, man. It's a decent truck if they took care of it.
Allentown.
Allentown. I knew it was a. So nice.
That's where we're gonna be.
For $2,000, yeah, buy her up. That's a good deal. Is it 4-wheel drive? I don't know. Square bodies, if it's in good shape, I'd buy her up. Yeah, if Roadkill went to Canada and did the DEBOSS Garage Junkyard Revival, we would be up for that. So Roadkill does know who we are, but
how do they know who we are?
Roadkill? Lucky knows who we are. He's
yeah,
commented on our videos,
yeah.
And Dave and Mike both know who we are. So
yeah,
kind of. It's one of those things. Oh yeah, they see our face. Then I think if somebody mentioned,
they know
DEBOSS
you
Garage,
more for Tape Boss than
right.
DEBOSS Garage.
But regardless, what we did find pretty cool is that we got on Milwaukee's radar, and Milwaukee's sending us some tools, but they just released like a junkyard build with a bunch of other guys.
Yeah, if you guys have seen the pull apart challenge, I think it's called. Yeah. Episode 1 dropped yesterday. I think there might be a couple more episodes of that. Yeah.
So we're excited about that. If that happens again, then either way, We've been talking to Brian's Mobile knows who we are. Who else?
Eric the car guy knows.
Yeah, Eric the car guy. We're on his side channel. Right from the start, we asked if we could be on his sidebar, and he goes, "Yeah, you guys got great content, so we'll put you on." So Eric knows who we are. We reached out to Engineering Explained to see if he could tell us whether our turbos would work or not. He didn't respond, so I don't know what's up with him. He must be going through a tough time or something. I don't know.
You're probably just in his junk email folder.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are. So.
And Jeep and Bleep. We're on his sidebar as well.
Oh, okay, nice.
Bleep and Jeep. Jeep and Bleep.
We're not drinking coffees or water tonight.
No.
Yeah, we are too professional. We'll lighten up, but at the same time, yeah, well, whatever. We have a good time, regardless whether we swear or not. So, nice. Yeah, no, if it's 4x4 with just a tiny bit of rust, buy her up, man. For $2,000, even if you get a couple years out of it, that's golden. It's worth what, $300-400 in scrap just alone. So, that's not bad at all. North Wales, wow. The Lack are a fake hockey team. LAK? Los Angeles Kings? Is it fake? I guess, yeah. Yeah. So the transmission 94, I think that's a 700 R4 in that, but that's right in the brake. I don't know what it is. It might be a 4060E, but why is the transmission gone and not anything else? Korea. North Korea. Yeah, sure, Andre. I don't think that. I was wondering if the Leafs were gonna come
Carolina.
up this year.
Carolina, not Korea.
Really? Oh. It says North Korea. Hello from North Korea, Andre.
Yeah, then he said down here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how you misspelled that.
Yeah. Thought I was losing it. Anyway, yeah, I was wondering if the Leafs were going to come up because they're actually doing pretty good. So, what's the score right now? Because I'm missing it. I watched the first 10 minutes just after supper, and then I went back in the shop.
Oh, okay.
And then I finished something up.
My brother's a Leaf fan. I am not.
No.
I'm kind of an anti-Leaf fan, just to bug him. I don't know.
They might. They're going to do great the first half of the season and just tank the second half. It's what they always do. So, but anyway, a 4BT swap 2-wheel drive Chevy Blazer. I've got one with 4.2 ideally and one that's 2-wheel drive Hulk, just begging for a drive line. Yeah, definitely 4BT. That Trailblazer would be a really good platform for that. I think robust enough to be able to handle the weight and small enough that it wouldn't be underpowered. So. We just got our 3.3 back from the machine shop. If you remember, probably 8-10 months ago, we did a shop tour, and there was a Cummins 3.3, which is actually, anyway, it's just a rebranded engine. But anyway, 3.3, it is going in an Escalade with a NV 3500 5-speed. And he just bought the Escalade, so that project is actually going to happen. 8 months in, and we have a turning short block. The head's done. We'll show you guys what was all done to that. The machine shop did everything because it was seized when I got it. And yeah, going in an Escalade, so that's happening this winter too. So
that'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, yeah. We can build whatever you want. It only costs money. I'd love to. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't. I don't mind going anywhere to do anything. Actually, it's just that family's at home and my girls grow up fast. So, it's one of those things where I wish we would have started the YouTube channel when we were single and Andrew Rose from Tuesley's Auto and the guy that owns the Hummer dump truck. they actually did a whole bunch of road trips down south. They had a riot going through military bases and working for random people here and there, and just making a complete long road trip out of it, dragging home stuff that's way overloaded on the trailers, blowing tires everywhere, and some of the stories are really, really cool. So yeah, I wish I would have been part of that, but we're just hanging home for now, right now. So, whose tractor is that on the cover? Just some random guy. We'll go over the Drive Tribe in a bit, but I don't know too much about the 2.8 yet.
Oh, the tractor.
The tracker
on the
yeah.
Yeah, so
thanks for
that's
coming.
on Drive Tribe, yeah.
I would personally go with the 4BT because it's cheaper and it's still more reliable. I think with the 2.8, it's still an emissions engine. We were talking with Cummins. They were interested in the channel. We were hopefully we were going to get a 2.8, and so we could actually tell you what we can think of with our own personal experiences. But I don't know whether that conversation stopped or not. There's one other guy that is way behind the scenes that started that conversation almost a year ago. No, a year ago in February. And
they only got it into Canada like in the last couple months or something.
Yeah.
So.
But they only made 500? Is there only 500 in Canada, or is there only 500?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense. Somebody said they only made 500 engines, and if that's the case, then they won't give us one for free. And then if that's the case, we wouldn't buy one until the 64 with the Duramax is up and running and gone, because I don't need any more projects. So unfortunately, I can't tell you that the 2.8 is a good engine, but I can tell you that the 4BT is fantastically loud and vibrates a lot, but is amazing on fuel, and I would highly recommend doing it. So 2006 6-liter Vortec, that's pretty bad lifter tap. What do you think I should do? Ignore it. Just drive it. It doesn't. Every GM I've owned has lifter tap. So, yeah. How far are the repercussions of what is going to kill diesel engines? I don't think so. I read something this week that, and I got to follow up on them. We get news reports of anything related to automotive sent to us, and apparently somebody's figured out a clean running diesel with no EGR, DPF, or afterburner, and it's supposedly this breakthrough new thing. I got a phone call. I got a phone number for it if I wanted to know more, and I do want to know more. Just one of those things like, oh, I got it on my phone, I'm in the middle of something, and we got that news release. So I don't think Volkswagen, I think it is kind of going to blow over. I think automakers are still coming out with new diesels, but I think the electrics are taking over. So we're getting more releases of new electric vehicles than we are with diesels, but I don't think the diesel's dead. So 2000 Ram. No.
Was it Volkswagen specifically or diesel? Just
What's that?
I don't know. I'm just looking.
Yeah. 2000 Ram.
Is this it?
Fog lights blown. Yeah.
To mobility.
Yeah. Post that up. So take a read at that.
Here's what we got. Not sure if we're not allowed to. Well, I guess we are.
It doesn't say anything. Don't do anything.
It's
but basically, it says that the old systems are no good and we have a new system. But it doesn't tell you what the new system is. It's just that we have the new system. So Leafs are tied. Leafs are tied, huh?
Wow. Into mobility. That's what it's called. INTU mobility. So check them out. They've said something about that. Anyway,
I don't have any experience with the 03 Dodge. I just did the 05 Dodge, or the door blend issue. you know what? The only things I've ever done to Dodges is work on the Cummins. I really haven't worked much on the truck itself because I'm not a big fan of the truck myself, and you'll see that review on Sunday. So, see, if it's just a Corolla, you can just do the exact opposite and make it horrible in a good way. I went to college with a guy who had a Topaz, and he had all the, like, it looked like it was an official, he put the badging on it like diesel and on the trunk and all that from another Ford, and it looked like it was supposed to be there, and people were like, I didn't know they made a Topaz and a diesel. and oh, the Leafs do suck. They're down 5-3. I watched the first 10 minutes of first period. I knew they were going to lose. It was all in there, and anyway, who cares? SCR has the capability to replace all emissions, but engine manufacturers choose. Really? Can you send us a link to that SCR there, Jacob? So somebody asked me on Instagram, and I didn't know how to respond because when I posted my truck. So he's like, seriously, tell me honestly what's better, Duramax or Cummins? And this is my opinion. The Duramax is a better engine when it's working right, but it's going to break. And when it breaks, it's going to be way more expensive than a Cummins. A Cummins, there's nothing wrong with the Cummins. It's just the truck isn't that great. That's why I put the Cummins in the Chevy. But like the 05 Dodge that we just did injectors on, I did it in about a day, whereas there's no way, just under a day with some other stuff. But very simple, nice, straightforward, on the top, easy to work on, quick to fix, quick to replace, and in and out the door, and it's gone. Whereas the Duramax is just and Power Stroke, there's just so much stuff in the way. When they're working, they pull better, they're quieter, they're more of a refined engine. But when they break, they're friggin' expensive. So take that as you want. If it's had the injectors done already, there's no worries of head gasket issues, and it's in good shape, I would still go with the Duramax. So we'll and that's why we're putting the Duramax in the 64, right? So yeah, and easier to troubleshoot too.
Yeah. I don't know if this is for you, but
send the tack in a danger zone, they'll rattle the lifters loose. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, we really don't care about the Leafs. It was just thought it was funny that they are actually doing a little bit better. So wondering if it was gonna come out.
That's what everybody says every year.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, they got a little. Are you guys experiencing feedback at all? I just got that thing, but anyway. So, hi from Indy. Really enjoy your channel. The Audi build is awesome. Can't wait to see it running and driving. Yeah, we're getting closer and closer. So, what else did we do? Clutch is done. The engine, will be tuning it this weekend, and
no, not this weekend. Next week.
yeah, this weekend. No, it's coming up, man. The 30th. We are in Pennsylvania.
It's the 21st today.
Yeah. Or not this weekend. This
Saturday.
We are in this weekend right now. It's already the weekend. It's 1 week from now.
Right.
So, yeah. Well, that's what. Yeah, the edges are perfect, right? Exactly. Couldn't say it any better. And more ether in the 6-liter. Is that what Andre's talking about? Anyway. What are your guys' absolute dream builds, car or truck? If you had endless supply of money and time, what would you love to work on? You know what? Exactly what we're doing right now. Whatever kind of comes across the plate is what we're going to be working on. If this Audi works like the way I imagine it working in my head, and I've said it before, whereas like every build, it's like, okay, this build is awesome, and this is kind of the pinnacle of what we're going to be doing. What are we going to do after this? And then just something cooler ends up happening after that. But I never thought I'd be building a race car, and diesel background, whatever. I don't know. One project at a time. It's the Audi, the GTO, and the C10, and then after that we'll worry about that. But I was always if you see my style, it's what the Silverado 2500 is. But the next, hopefully with the C10, we can kind of go into another area again. We're hoping to put it on that kneeling bus frame with the factory air ride on it, which is something completely different again, because I'm going low to the ground rather than up high, right? So yeah, the Mercedes diesel, yeah, great little engines. Oh yeah, the Duramax do have the aluminum heads, but honestly, the aluminum heads have never given issue. Head gaskets are an issue because that exhaust comes down by the passenger side and it gets hot there, which is why it goes. But generally, it was the injectors that were the issues, and head gaskets in the beginning. But the heads themselves are not that big of an issue. So I don't know much about the 5-liter Nissan. I've never even seen one other than at the auto show. I can't say if they're good or not, because yeah, no experience. So yeah, Ottawa's gonna win. Give it up on the Leafs. We're done with that. Yes, more heavy equipment vids.
We're having an issue with these heavy equipment repair videos because everybody that wants repairs done wants to sell the thing right after,
but they don't want anybody to know that any work was done to it.
I'm like looking for heavy equipment.
We got in trouble with that.
Find our video.
Yeah, we got in trouble with that this week, where I might have lost a customer.
And then they don't want to buy the equipment.
Right.
So do we make the review, or do we wait until it's sold and then release it? Like,
surprise! This is what you bought. This is what I did to it. But and it's all videotaped, and it's all. Like, we document everything that we do. There's no hiding on it. There's no cheating on it, saying, okay, like, this is how to properly do it, but we're going to fill it with sawdust and quiet it down. So, but unfortunately, we do reviews, and it sucks because good customers, I fixed one of their equipments, and I had a negative thing to say about it. And the point of our videos is to save people, to let buyer beware what potential issues they could run into, and they're going to run into those issues. But if you're selling it, then that doesn't work. We've done a lot of heavy equipment lately, but a lot of it was for stuff that was going for sale, so we've had to put it in the bank for a little bit and decide if we're actually even able to release these things or not. What we might do is just review the equipment, and we'll go back and do a couple of reviews on some of this equipment. But again, it's buyer beware, right? So we had an excavator that V&R wants to sell. Had somebody interested, and I didn't really look the excavator over that well. When we looked at it, we realized that it had some issues, and now I can make a video on what to look for when you're buying a used excavator, but that would motivate you to not buy this excavator. So that's
even though there's nothing wrong with it.
No, and honestly, but it's honest. The excavator needs the hydraulic pump in it. It's a good machine. It's clean. The tracks are tight. The engine's good. It's a Cummins in there. But it needs a hydraulic pump, and it's a steal of a deal on the excavator. It's a 42-ton excavator, but I don't understand. It's a Link Belt LS 5800, and I've done pumps on 330 John Deeres before, and they were like, the pump was $6 grand, maybe $7 grand for the pump. This friggin' Link Belt, it's 15 grand for a pump. If you guys, so there's no money left to be made, and there's no point in fixing it because it's worth more in scrap than it is to throw 15 grand into it and hopefully sell it for 30 or 35 grand. So,
yeah, how old is that one now?
It was late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, so it's old already.
It's old already, but it's not like it's the perfect machine for a farmer to level fence rows or dig a pond or dig a ditch. Because if you price that out to get somebody to do that for you, you're looking at 10, 15, 20 grand. So if you can buy an excavator and still, even if it catches fire and burns to the ground in your driveway, the weight is still there and it's still worth like 15 grand in scrap. I'm dead serious. So yeah. You can't lose.
Yeah.
Right? So the wiring burns up and the paint is crispy. It's still worth that much in scrap.
Someone was asking if it's the Massey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, unfortunately,
that's what it didn't sell because they saw the video.
Yeah, and we should have taken the video down, and just too much going on, and that and I apologize. I feel terrible about it, but I don't know. Anyway, we ever build a pulling truck? The thing with the pulling truck is it's such a short little run. Did I skip a bunch?
Where are you?
Yeah, I am. I will go down to that again.
Pulling truck. We were up here.
So we did. We painted.
We did a Bob's
Yeah. We painted one. Yeah, and
yeah.
So check that out. And it was just a paint job, and it's not a fancy. It's not a Fleet Master paint job. It's
essentially, it is about how to sell it.
Right.
How to sell your equipment.
And that's exactly it. Scooby Dooby Doo. 96 Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo's got it down to a T. So
yeah, that's
okay. So
that's with diesel in general, though.
Yeah. And Power Strokes are good engines if you throw $10,000 at it. PowerstrokeHelp.com. People keep telling me, Rich, you're wrong. Go check out PowerstrokeHelp.com, and he'll tell you that they're good engines. And all I see is him saying, these are terrible engines. Look at what happened here. This happened. That happened. I can't believe it. This one has a valve jammed in the head. This one the head cracked. This one the crankshaft broke in half. It's like, it's just kind of verifying my point, but. So the spaghetti challenge. Oh, sorry.
Do a meetup. Yeah, I think we are gonna do a meetup for that when we go to Motorsports Park.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a small one. I don't want like 100 people showing up because we get the track like before the track opens, kind of like.
Right. So we honestly are still like 3-4 weeks away from driving the Audi. I need to have the transmission fit to the engine and sitting in the car so I can measure the axles for the front, and that's kind of holding me up. I still need to make a drive shaft for it. It will be running and it's wired. The engine is built, which we will break this weekend, but then move everything over to another engine. The transmission's built, the clutch and stuff is figured out. The slave cylinder's figured out. The master is not yet. We're still waiting for pedals. I think we're going to put pedals from a Volkswagen in. We have to make sure that the brakes are okay, that the master for the brakes is good enough. A bunch of little things that I can see running into is the Audis. I might actually take a Hydro Boost system off of GM and run it on the GM power steering pump. Because the way Audi does their brake assist is pretty complicated, and I can't think. I didn't take a good look at it if that even runs out on vacuum. We don't even have any vacuum. The vacuum's way at the back of the car, back where the air filters are, and we need to carry that all the way to the front. Brakes have to be 100%. So those are all little issues that we'll be running into, and then it will be. Like, we'll probably be driving it with snow on the track, but whatever. If you guys want to come out for that, we'll let you know. In the summer, next summer, we've met a lot of contacts, and actually this weekend or on Monday is Canada's Worst Drivers premiere, and that was a show that I wrenched on in the spring. So my name should be in the credits at the back at the end of the show. Cool show. I met the producers there and got along with everybody there, and we've got access to the Dunnville Airport now. So a couple of our sponsors have fancy cars, so we'll be taking their cars to the runway and racing the Audi against their cars. So we've got McLarens, we've got a Lamborghini Aventador, we've got a Mustang Cobra, and I'm sure we'll have a couple other cars there. So if you guys are interested in that, again, we can't be stupid with it because they're being nice, giving us the track. We can't just have any random guy going with a car and then running it off the end of the track and killing themselves, whatever. We still got to keep that in mind. But these guys are helping out with the build and that too. So we'll be doing some neat stuff like that. And Toronto Motorsports Park will definitely be meeting up at actual events too, and we'll just kind of have our own little corner at the back and then doing some meetups there too, which was the point for this year. Of course, we were behind. The transmission got delayed, which kind of held up a lot of stuff, mating it to the engine, all that fun stuff. We were hoping to do that at Toronto Motorsports this year, but we'll have to postpone that till next year because I think they're going to be closing the track in the next month or so too. So yeah.
We just got a Patreon question here. What do you think on Isuzu DT2?
Sorry, Wen. I don't know. I don't have any experience with them. Yeah, I can't say one way or another because I haven't seen them come across yet, and I haven't had the chance to talk to my brother-in-law to see if he's got any coming to the shop either. So I apologize for that, but I can't say. So, where are we?
We're up here. Spaghetti Challenge is tentatively in February. I think they're still locking down the dates.
Yeah, but right now I think he asked us if the 16th to the 20th works, and we said no. We'd like you to rearrange your entire schedule to suit us. No, I asked him if he would. So, but we're obviously whatever the date is, we're showing up. So
yeah.
So so right now, this weekend, Tommy F. Yeah, Dude in Blue, Dave Patterson, Rob Freddy, Rob Dom, and Matt Ferreira are in Vegas, and they're doing their little showdown between them. And that's too bad because one of them's gonna blow a clutch for sure. One of them's gonna twist an input shaft or a drive shaft, and one or two of them are gonna overheat. So, but they'll get those bugs out when they meet us for in February.
Yeah.
So, and then we're gonna run into the same issues where we're gonna overheat or we're gonna twist the drive shaft, or
it just means we have to kill the car in January
and fix it in time. Right. So they're gonna have time to prep their cars, but I don't think any of their cars are as robust as they think they are. I was a little disappointed with Freddie. He was changing his wiring, and they did all the wiring and realized the plugs for the injectors were wrong, and then scrapped the whole thing. It's like just soldered new ends on the injectors. I don't know how this is such a big deal, but if you're running into issues like that, then when was the last time he changed his clutch, or when was the last time he actually did beat on it for 20 whole minutes rather than just doing a half-mile run? Like that's a big difference, especially when you're slowing down in the corners and that, your engine's still building heat, your brakes are building heat, like all of that's all building up under the hood. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. These videos should be interesting on what these guys post.
I think I'm just gonna skip a little bit here.
Okay.
We're never gonna get caught up. Just swap a 12 valve into an 85 K20.
Yeah. You absolutely should. 100%. There's full kits already for that. The old square bodies, you can just buy it and you're done. So
I kind of already answered that one.
Yep.
The International Harvester Collection.
I haven't talked to him for a little bit. It's been a while. We used to go to the same church. He used to be my elder, but we left that church, and I see him randomly now, and he's asked me some Cummins questions, but I haven't had a chance to actually catch up with him, and I really should. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah. Astrovan Hydro Boost. Yeah, maybe. We'll look into that. I don't know if I can remember any Astros. What's good about the Astrovan Hydro Boost compared to like a Sierra? So
it's the most abuse you've seen a Cummins handle.
But it's you know what? It's not like instant abuse. It's a long time neglected relationship where, you know, it's these farmers that just use it as a farm truck and like haven't checked the oil in years, and the entire truck is falling apart around this Cummins, and the Cummins still fires up and runs, but it's low on oil. It's leaking everywhere. The and that's the biggest thing is they leak oil.
That was that logger.
That logger, that 100%, that 4BT.
Check out the logger video if you haven't seen that one.
there was no way. I think they told me they honestly didn't really even look at it for about 20, 30 years, where it never left the bush. It just went from bush to bush, never made it into a shop, never, like, it leaked enough oil that you just keep putting oil in it and just drive the thing. But there was no way we could make a video on that without making him look like a complete ass for the amount of abuse that he did to that logging machine. But 100% that logging machine was terrible. So
4BT have enough power to pull a car hauler 10,000 pounds each weekend.
So
your video with the Tahoe.
So I pulled, in total that was 15,000 pounds. So my Tahoe weighs 6,800 pounds and it pulls it beautiful. Like 100% nice to get on the highway. No problem passing people. You put an empty trailer on it, no problem.
Is there sound right now? Oh, okay. It's just you.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, but to pull 15,000 pounds all the time, definitely, it's asking a lot for it, and then you start losing your fuel efficiency because the engine's trying so hard, right? So it's one of those things. I pulled with the Tahoe maybe twice a month, and the rest of it was just for fuel economy. So that's what we're doing. We'll probably be driving the Tahoe to Pennsylvania with the engine in the back, so hopefully they have a forklift that can pull that out. So yep. And the old Cummins had replaceable liners. The new ones definitely don't. So yeah, that's right. Okay, the diff in our Audi's fine. It's a torsion diff, and it's actually as in the words of zip ties, bias plies, our torsion diff is minty. So we are good to go there. I was an idiot though, because when we first picked up the Audi, the diff from our parts car was laying in his bin. I'm like, I wonder if that's our diff. And then I'm like, 2 weeks later, I'm like, was that the diff in that bin? I'm like, I absolutely need that for when we blow it up. He's like, ooh, we just got rid of the bin. So stupid. But what we do need for the Audi is the shifter linkage for an 01E 6-speed transmission. So we've got everything figured out except for the actual shifter handle itself. Now there's one in Ottawa, and he's got the axles for it too. So an entire transmission and shifter and axles for $500. And one of my friends from London wants to buy an electric car, and I told her I'd pick it up for her. So I told her to go buy one from Ottawa, because the guy won't ship it. But so anybody listening, we need a shifter, like actual shifter linkage for a 01E 6-speed Quattro, and it doesn't have. If you look at the actual transmission, there's only one shifter linkage that comes out on the driver's side, kind of halfway up on top of the transmission. There's no second bar that comes out the tail end or the tail stock. So right.
Sponsored by CAA.
Yeah. It
or AAA, AAA.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but we can't laugh because we don't even have a running car yet. So we're just gonna take this humbly and kind of sneak in the back there and get our face on screen and hopefully kick some ass. But this is a pretty off the wall engineered car. So basically we've touched absolutely everything, and that's with racing or mechanics. You forget one bolt, you do one thing wrong, and it's. Yeah, you're in pit row and everybody else is doing laps, so we'll see what happens. So swapped in 12 valve 97, nice. The Tundra would be a good one for the 4BT, I think. Check out. I was just talking to the guy this week about the adapter. hit me up on Instagram and ask me about the adapter plate, because somebody's making us an adapter plate for the 3.3 Cummins to the NV3500, and it's in the States somewhere, and I forget the company's name. But hit me up on Instagram, and there we go. Nice. The fire logger, yep. So I haven't dealt with the 2.3 turbos, no. Shove it in the alley.
Yeah, it's in everything, yeah.
Yep, yeah, put that D-Max in the Corvette, absolutely. Might not be able to close the hood, but that sounds like a pretty awesome build. 7120 Magnum with 8.3, yeah. On a hard day's work, you think? No, 1 quart and an 8.3. It's an old engine. As long as it's not smoking like a banshee coming out the when you're working it, don't worry too much about it. So funny enough, I've been asked to price 2 Charger Cummins swaps, and I gave them both the price. I gave the one a price, and I never heard back from them. You got to understand that if guys are posting videos about, there is a Cummins in the Charger online, and if you do the work yourself, yeah, you can do it for 5-6 grand. If you're paying somebody else to do it, it's going to be 10-12 grand, and apparently that's too much to redesign an entire car. So I guess we didn't get that job. The process of mating the transmission, I'll tell you real quick. How many people are watching? Just like a couple hundred.
I don't know.
Not even.
What do you got there going on?
Anyway, what I did was so if you can follow along, I'm going to say it once. What I did was I cut a plate that fit the top of the Audi bell housing. Then I made a stub shaft that fit perfectly on the input shaft of the Audi. Then I drilled a hole through that plate and set the transmission on the plate. Then I marked the holes for the bell housing on the Audi transmission and drilled them out and tapped them, and then traced the bell housing onto that aluminum plate. Then I tapped the holes and bolted the plate to the Audi bell housing, and then shaved the top of the bolts that were sticking through the plate off. Then that stub shaft sticking through that aluminum bell housing, I made a threaded rod that I threaded into my router, and made it adjustable with a ring that goes around that input shaft. From there, I routed the outside of the Audi bell housing to a perfect circle around the input shaft. Then we went to V&R and I got a truck rim. So now the bell housing is 13 inches round, perfectly all the way around, and a transport truck rim, aluminum rim, is about 13 inches outside the bolt holes. So I cut that section out, and the machinist is now machining the truck rim to slide over top of the bell housing on the Audi. Then I got a full ring all the way around that's perfectly circle, and machined the outside diameter to the inside diameter of the GM 4L60 bell housing. Now that needs to be cut down to size depending on where the clutch and the flywheel end up. And then once we have that figured out, I cut the back of the of a 5.3 off, so we have the bell housing off of that. Then we can take the crankshaft main bearing and make a jig to center the input shaft of the Audi transmission to the back of the 5.3 block, and then slide the 4L60 belt housing around the truck ring and weld that in place without it warping and twisting. So we'll probably have to make a jig on that. Now I didn't take the Audi bell housing right down, so we still have the original surface, and then we can check our depth off of that and probably make a jig for that. And then my aluminum welder is just gonna freak because I need to get him to weld it solid. But I'm very impressed by how it turned out, and also very confident that that will actually be stronger because it's all the way around. So once it's welded, then we can cut out the spot for the starter cone, and then everything else will be solid all the way around. And then I need to take a router and shave the top of the Audi bell housing down because the flywheel itself doesn't fit inside of it. So once we get the heights figured out, right now the clutches, the one cone was hitting the other cone on the dual clutch, so he's just shaving that down a hair, and he's making a new bracket to fit the slave cylinder into the Audi transmission. So if that answers your question, that's where we're at with the Audi. But the video's coming, and it's actually pretty cool. So yeah, so they came in the B5 and S4s. I need that shifter linkage. Somebody find me a shifter linkage, and just the shifter linkage. I don't need the whole transmission, but I guess if we got to buy the whole transmission, well, that might have to be next month. I don't want the whole transmission. I just want the shifter linkage, please. And then that's the last of it. So the 01E did come as a 5-speed, but we have a 6-speed, so I don't know. I bought a 92 454 last week for a summer car. That's awesome. B&R, the one guy has a 454. I think it's a bit newer and it's a mint shape. So he's looking to sell it. If anybody wants a 454 SS, I've got a line on one too. So he wants 12 grand for it, and it is in perfect shape. Just been painted, and the interior's mint, like beautiful truck. Just a lot of dust on it. So
Cummins in a Helix.
Cummins in a Helix. You don't need a Cummins in a Helix because they come with Toyota diesels. You just stick a Toyota diesel in there. Get your hands on one of those. Really, the Cummins is what was available to us, and I wanted a matching.
Yeah, Helix are hard to come by here.
Yeah. Well, we get the shitty Helixes with the gas engine. So
best transmission for 4BT.
Yeah, NV 4500. The 3500 probably be okay too, just as long as you don't start compound turboing it. So yeah. Yeah. Time for work. Holy crap, Alberta. So that's what time is it out there? 8, 9 o'clock. You're going back in the shop. Good luck, buddy. Good luck, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, email us at debossgarage@gmail.com.
Yeah.
7.3 best diesel I ever put in a Ford. It's like having a deuce.
Yeah. The 7.3s, the IDIs were great engines because we had this conversation. They're so gutless that, you know, the engine's not really working that hard. So yeah, it'll fire up probably every time if the glow plugs are working. And I've seen lots of them go well over $1 million because now we're at the point where we're asking so much for our engines. We're blowing head gaskets and we're bending connecting rods and whatever, and then the emissions crap on top of it. But the IDIs were great because they were underpowered to begin with, and they just went forever. So so if you want to start, you know what, forums is the way to go. Just do your homework. You got to spend a couple days behind the computer just reading everybody's experience and try to learn off of everybody else. You can't just hop in and do it yourself. Somebody's probably done it already, so learn from their mistakes and make sure you got enough time to get it done, because you're going to spend more time and more money on it than you planned. So count for that, and if you plan on having kids or anything anytime soon, just scrap the idea and just buy a minivan or something. It changes so much.
Well, the Mercedes, that started with forums. Like, nobody had finished.
Right. Well, I'm
Mercedes
not finished.
LS
I'm still working
swap.
on it. So it's still not, yeah. It was running and moving.
It will.
Yeah, it will, 100%. So we're almost there again. So there'll be a video coming up soon again. So.
Yeah. And there's kits out there,
yeah.
Yeah, just get into it, Chevy.
Yep.
Yeah. B6 6 came in 6-speed. Just asked a friend, so B6 6 speeds will work too.
Okay. Ask your friend if he's got a shifter. So, gasolines or diesel engines to diagnose or repair. I think the gas ones are, other than those stupid evap leaks. So, and if your diesel's running like crap and it's a newer one, it's your injectors. So.
P7100 or VE?
100% the P7100. The rotary, you can only get so much out of it. Kind of the P7100 is the sky's the limit. So there's guys running 2,000 horsepower off of one. So even if you don't plan on doing it now, it's more desirable, higher resale, and easier to work on and more fun.
So I'm going to switch gears here, go over to Drive Tribe.
Sure.
Quickly, because I think we've only got one here, or two.
Okay.
Well, this one's a YouTube video. Maybe I shouldn't watch that. We don't have very good luck with video.
No.
Check it out. But so there's
Nice
another
interior.
update on this minivan. This minivan is awesome. You should go to Drive Tribe just to see this thing.
Yeah. That is beautiful.
Greg. So not much time. She's been a little dirty. Have to tear everything back out for the upholstery shop. Has to take care of that L bench seat in the back, toolbox and roof mount, AC, and
That is
finally weld up
gorgeous.
the rack.
Love the
There we
dash.
go.
That's really, really cool. Are you
Yeah.
putting a grill in front of it, or are you just showing that intercooler loud and proud? It's awesome. I love it. Yeah,
That's nice.
finding time is always the hardest part, but keep going on her. That looks awesome. Very cool.
That's it. Yeah, that's it for now. So yeah, if you guys are working on anything, head over to Drive Tribe. This is our page. Throw it up here, and we like to feature you guys' builds, stuff you're working on. So, oh, there. Anyways, 2009 Subaru.
Friend of ours bought a Subaru and they really like it. They had a lot of bugs in it at first though, trying to get rid of that. Just stupid stuff, like somebody put LED lights in the back and that triggered the parking brake sensor or light, and so by the time you figure that out, I think they paid a couple $100 for somebody to diagnose that, because it checks the resistance on the bulb, so the light comes on to tell you that you have a bulb out, and the LEDs don't have the same resistance that the filament bulbs do. They had a couple other small things. I think they had a no start. I think they're generally happy with it. They just had a couple bugs in it that were really bothering them, but that's the only experience we have. So
Rear diff. What are we doing on the Audi?
So we still have the original torsion diff, and I think it'll be all right. We tore it apart. I'm putting all new seals. All the seals and the bearings are laying on the bench.
That's all worm gears, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it should be amazing.
It should be. It is amazing. The only thing, the way it binds and transfers the power is really cool. The issue is if the one wheel is airborne and is completely freewheeling, then it doesn't work. Then that wheel freewheels, and it's the same with front to back. If the front two tires are off, then it kind of freewheels. It's not all-wheel drive. It does a 70-20 to split, a 70-30 split, but if it's like 100-0, it doesn't work. The freewheeling still goes to the wheel that's in the air. And that's harsh for when you come back down again.
So we just need a really big wing
to keep it down. So we're building a
anybody's got a wing.
We have all aluminum plates for an entire solid skid plate underneath. We'll probably do some diffusers afterwards just because they look really cool, and put some nice exhaust tips in it. Tousley hooked us up with some really cool tips that are coming out the skirts. Was that in the last video?
I think that was in the last video.
Yeah. So and I was worried about where the location was, but what you guys need to do is look up Audi The Unfair Advantage on YouTube. I just smiled the entire video. That I love that video. So yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
So
Farm tractor.
we've always had Kubota, and they were fantastic. But Kubota doesn't build big tractors. So depending on your farm, like we had a 90 horse. I forget what the model was. It was some long name. And that was still when the shifter was between the legs, which was a pain. But that was the only negative thing about that tractor, was the shifters, and I'm sure they've come a long way since then. The other the other smaller tractors, and also you can see the review, the one we did on the plow tractors. Fantastic tractors. They have gone to DPF now, but the earlier models, my dad has one that I think I had the bush hog on it. I said the winter fuel video on that one, but fantastic tractors. I haven't had anything wrong with Kubotas, and I don't think anybody would really argue that. My lawnmower has a little 3-cylinder Kubota in it, and it starts and runs great. Awesome. So inline or common rail injection. Nothing wrong with common rail, but when the injectors go, it just costs more. That's all. Put a good filter on it. Stay up on your fuel filter, and common rail is quieter and more power. So,
how come Cummins instead of a Duramax?
Because at the time I could buy a full Duramax setup for $6,000, and I could buy a Cummins with half the kilometers on it for $1,800. And to me, driving around with a truck that, hey, I swapped the Duramax into a Chevy, you're like, well, that was stupid. Just sell your truck and buy one with with an already Duramax in it. And it's not cool, but driving around with a Silverado with a Cummins in it, it catches a lot of attention. I like to be different, and I think somebody told me you can't do that, and that's what I base most of my major life decisions on. So
VP44 versus VE.
yeah, I answered that already.
Oh, okay.
P7100.
Change the bias with shims.
Change the bias with shims. We need to meet up in Pennsylvania there. Sounds like you know what you're talking about. Did you send us an email to DEBOSS Garage? Maybe we can have a conversation. Love to have a chat with South Jersey Sound.
See if Tuesday can find you a rear LSD from a 944 turbo.
Okay.
That'd be a Porsche again, right?
Yeah. As long as it's got 411 rears, because the front has 411s in it. So, yeah. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna probably just end this out right here. But video tomorrow.
Yep.
So that's common rail injectors.
Yep.
How to replace them.
So that was that. Oh, that was the one we did the no start on. The customer got the injectors for me, and we got those in. And then we're off to Pennsylvania this week. A week from now. Looking forward to that, and just a couple other small jobs in the shop. Did a little bit more
look
work.
out for Milwaukee giveaways and
Yep.
more reviews from them coming up.
Yep.
And get some merch.
Yep.
And we'll see you at a track or something.
If somebody gets us an 01E shifter, we'll see you at the track. Otherwise, I gotta like lean in and then pull, and yeah, it gets kind of awkward. Thanks, guys. Yeah, we'll see you in about a month or so, and yeah.
All right, see you guys.
Here we go.